The light outside your bedroom window felt way brighter than it normally does, and it was keeping you awake. It was the end of a long weekend, much of which you spent hunched over the toilet, feeling sick. You had about an hour and a half to decide if you were going to go back into work or not, and you decided if you're going to be awake, you might as well do something. When you went to get out of bed, you were reminded of the clothes that now cover most of your floor. You'd been telling yourself that you were going to clean them up for a long time now. You couldn't tell if it was your lack of sleep or that you had recently stopped taking a medication that you were trying out for a while, but the state of your apartment was overwhelming to you and it felt like the soap was taunting you. Everywhere you looked, it felt like there was something to do, but it was getting close to when you had to decide if you were going to go to work or not, and you thought that maybe if you ate some food, it would make it easier to tell how you were feeling. You tried to enjoy your breakfast, but the weight of everything you felt like you had to do was absolutely crushing. You felt okay, and you decided that if you were going to go to work, you might as well look spiffy. When it was time to go, you grabbed a curiously strong mint and put on your boots. You hadn't been to work in a while, and you thought that maybe getting out of the house would help you feel inspired to clean your apartment when you got back. It was dark and cold when you got to work, but every morning the sun had been coming up sooner. The little bit of extra daylight made it feel like cleaning your apartment was going to be a total breeze. The rest of your morning route went smoothly, and you parked your bus and said goodbye. And you made sure you were parked on a truck route because you didn't want to get a ticket. When you got home, you took one look around, and immediately the feeling of overwhelm came crashing back. Even in the daylight, it felt like too much to deal with. You thought maybe it would feel good to go on a walk. As you were leaving, you saw this sign, and for some reason it reminded you of the art museum. And so you went. And when you got there, you gave a cosmic nod of respect to your unofficial coworkers who were on the job. Whenever you come here, you usually visit this piece first, and seeing it brought you comfort. But after that, it felt like everywhere you looked was just another room, and each one of them was cleaner than yours. You really wished that you could be this organized. No matter what kind of room you saw, they all just ended up reminding you of home. You thought maybe life would be easier if you lived like this guy, who apparently keeps all of his belongings in a single basket. You were beginning to wonder why you came here, and if it was ever even your choice in the first place. At the end of your visit, you were relieved to find out that you're not the only one with random things lying around. When you got home, you cleared off the plate that you'd been using for about the last week and made yourself a snack before heading back to work. At the end of your shift, the sunset was beautiful, but you felt a certain unease knowing what you had to go home to. The next day, you called into work and promised yourself that you would clean your apartment. You made yourself some breakfast and then ended up playing Minecraft for most of the day. You didn't clean your apartment, but at least you got a car wash. You felt pretty guilty for not going into work and then mostly just laying around that day, and you were beginning to accept your fate as somebody who just has a dirty apartment. You went to the bathroom and started washing your hands, which you do every time you go to the bathroom, when all of a sudden, uh, I guess my apartment just felt really dirty, and you finished washing your hands feeling overwhelmed by what your friends had to say. Finding out that your lack of self-care was being noticed by those around you made you feel even more lousy. You were about to go scroll on YouTube Shorts when all of a sudden, Over the next few days, you started slowly but surely cleaning things up. You realized that you had been being pretty harsh on yourself in your attempts to get yourself to do something that you actually really enjoyed. Eventually, you got into a pretty good groove, and you even found a little bit of money. You cleaned up your kitchen, and even washed the butter dish, and restocked your tea basket. You found out it was really easy to take your faucet off while you were cleaning your bathroom. Previously, you didn't have a broom, and so you were excited to find this one lying in the hall. You hoped no one would miss it too much, as it looked like it had been well loved. It ended up working just fine. You did some laundry, and before you knew it, you felt satisfied. You felt like you could finally breathe again walking around your newly cleaned apartment. You took note of how good it felt to do something good for yourself. You realized that maybe the standards of cleanliness that you were holding yourself to just weren't for you. You felt ready and even excited to make a mess again, and you thought it would be better if you did it with a friend. Luckily, you have some really good friends who you enjoy getting to make messes with. The next time that you're cleaning your apartment, just don't forget to do it joyfully.